A small cafe in Prague, rainy afternoon, the scent of fresh pastries filling the cozy space. A young woman wipes down tables, occasionally bending to stroke the hair of a 6-year-old girl drawing with crayons. The door opens. A man enters. Expensive suit, CEO presence, powerful aura. His eyes stop on the mother and daughter. The little girl looks up. Her clear eyes whisper, "Daddy." The woman freezes, hands trembling, drops her serving tray with a crash. After years of separation, fate has brought them face to face, and nothing will ever be the same again. Elena Novak, 34 years old, once a promising architecture student, now the owner of a small cafe tucked in Prague's old town, living a life completely different from the one she'd planned. 3 defining features: long brown hair usually pulled back in a practical bun, sad blue eyes that have seen too much heartbreak too young, and a gentle smile that hides years of struggle and single motherhood. Her daughter, Sofia, 6 years old, innocent, creative, always drawing pictures for the regular customers she calls friends. Doesn't know her real story yet. Doesn't know why she doesn't have a daddy like other children. Elena's cafe sits on a cobblestone corner street, small but charming. Each table has a fresh flower in a jar. Children's artwork decorates the walls. Local customers love the warm atmosphere, the honest coffee, the homemade pastries Elena bakes before dawn every morning. Years ago, Elena loved Adrian Weiss, now 38, CEO of a major tech corporation. Ambitious, driven, brilliant. They met at university, fell deeply in love, planned a future together. But when his career demanded everything, Adrian made a choice, left Prague, left Elena, left love behind for ambition and power and the promise of building an empire. He never knew Elena was pregnant when he left, never knew she carried his child, never knew she spent 9 months alone, terrified, working 2 jobs, preparing to become a single mother. Elena raised Sofia alone, never told her daughter about her father, never showed her photos, never explained why she grew up without a daddy, just said he was far away and left it at that. That rainy afternoon, the cafe was quiet. Few customers. Sofia sat at her favorite corner table, drawing sunflowers with bright yellow crayons. When the door opened and Adrian Weiss walked in, seeking shelter from the rain, drawn by the cafe's warm glow, time stopped. Elena saw him before he saw her. Her heart stopped, breath caught. 7 years collapsed into one moment. Then Adrian's eyes found hers. Recognition, shock, something deeper and more complicated. Before Elena could react, before she could hide Sofia or make excuses or protect her daughter from this moment, Sofia looked up from her drawing. She had Adrian's eyes, his bone structure, his expression when concentrating, unmistakable genetics. Sofia studied the tall stranger. Something in her 6-year-old intuition sparked. Something she'd been missing her entire life suddenly felt present. "Daddy?" she whispered. Clear, innocent, devastating. The word hung in the small cafe like thunder. Elena's serving tray crashed to the floor, coffee cups shattering, porcelain fragments scattering, the physical manifestation of her internal collapse. Adrian stood frozen in the doorway, rain dripping from his expensive coat, staring at the little girl who had his face, his eyes, his everything. Symbolic object number 1, the small sun pendant necklace Elena still wore, hidden under her blouse, Adrian's gift from their university days. She'd never been able to take it off despite everything. Authentic detail for Act 1, a grocery receipt from Coughlin KC42 for milk, with Sofia's drawn hearts on the back, pinned behind the bar. Evidence of their simple life, their careful budget, their reality. "Elena," Adrian finally spoke, voice hoarse. "What? Who is she?" Elena couldn't answer, couldn't breathe, couldn't process this nightmare unfolding. Sofia, oblivious to the adult tension, smiled at Adrian. "Are you my daddy? Mama said you were far away. Did you come back?" The innocence of the question shattered what remained of Elena's composure. "Sofia, go to the back room now." Her voice was barely controlled. "But Mama." Now, sweetheart, please. Sofia obeyed, confused but compliant, leaving the two adults in the small cafe, the past crashing into the present. 7 years of absence suddenly demanding explanation. Adrian took a step forward. Elena, that little girl, she called me. Is she? Yes. The word came out broken. Sofia is your daughter who doesn't know you, your daughter you never knew existed because you left without looking back. The foundation was set, the secret revealed, the impossible situation created, and now they had to figure out what came next. After that shocking moment, Elena pulled Adrian outside into the rain, away from the cafe, away from Sofia, away from curious eyes. She's mine? Adrian's voice was raw, disbelieving. You were pregnant when I left? I didn't know yet. Found out 2 weeks after you moved to Berlin. 2 weeks after you made it clear your career was more important than us. Elena, You what? You're sorry? You didn't mean to abandon me? Save it. I survived. Sofia and I both survived without you. Adrian ran his hands through his wet hair. CEO composure completely shattered. Why didn't you tell me? I had a right to know. You had a right? Elena's voice rose. You left me. You chose ambition over love. What was I supposed to do? Chase you? Beg you to come back? Trap you with a baby you didn't want? I would have wanted her. Would you? Really? Or would you have resented us? Blamed us for holding back your precious career? The rain poured harder. Neither of them noticed. Adrian's voice dropped. I need to know her. She's my daughter. I have rights. Rights? Elena laughed bitterly. She doesn't even know what a father is. She's asked me her entire life why she doesn't have a daddy. Do you know how that feels? Explaining to your 6-year-old that her father chose success over family? That's not fair. I didn't know. And whose fault is that? You made your choice 7 years ago. You don't get to walk back in now because it's convenient. But even as she said it, Elena knew the situation was more complicated. Sofia had called him daddy, some instinct, some recognition, some need that Elena alone couldn't fill. Over the following weeks, Adrian began visiting the cafe regularly, not demanding, not forcing, just present. He brought coloring books for Sofia, art supplies, simple gifts that showed he was trying. Sofia called him Uncle Adrian at Elena's insistence, but sometimes the word daddy would slip out, natural, instinctive, breaking Elena's heart each time. Adrian told Elena about his life after leaving Prague. I built the company, achieved everything I thought I wanted, corner office, wealth, reputation, but it's hollow, always has been. I don't need your existential crisis confession, Elena said coldly. I'm not asking for forgiveness. I'm trying to explain. I was young, stupid, thought success would fill the emptiness. It never did. Good. You deserve to feel empty. But despite her anger, Elena watched Adrian with Sofia, watched him learning to be present, learning to listen, learning to connect with a child who desperately wanted a father. One evening, Sofia sang a song she'd learned at school. Clear voice, sweet melody, about families and love and belonging. Adrian wept, openly, not caring who saw. I missed 6 years, he said. 6 years of her life, first words, first steps, everything. Elena felt her armor cracking. You made that choice. I know, and I'll regret it until I die, but I'm here now, let me try, please. The symbolic sun necklace reappeared when Sofia found it while hugging Elena. What's this, Mama? Just old jewelry. It's pretty, like a real sun. Sofia held it up to the light. Adrian recognized it immediately. His gift, still worn after 7 years. His eyes met Elena's across the cafe. Question, hope, something unspoken. Micro-conflict emerged when Adrian offered to pay for Sofia's education. Private school, best opportunities, money-solving problems. Elena exploded. She doesn't need your money. She needs a father. She needs someone who shows up, who stays, not someone who writes checks to ease his guilt. I'm trying to help. Then help by being present, by learning who she is, by earning the right to be called her father. The tension was palpable. Unresolved history mixing with current complications. But slowly, grudgingly, Elena allowed Adrian more time with Sofia, supervised visits, cafe afternoons, slow integration into their established life. Sofia bloomed under his attention, drew pictures of Uncle Adrian, asked when he was coming back, talked about him constantly. "Mama, why doesn't Uncle Adrian live with us?" she asked one night at bedtime. Elena's heart clenched. "Because it's complicated, sweetheart. But I like him. He's nice. He makes you smile." "I don't smile around him." "Yes, you do, when you think I'm not looking." Out of the mouths of children. Authentic detail for Act 2, Sofia's student bus pass showing KC25, covered in cartoon stickers. Adrian held it one day, studying it, understanding their life, their budget, their reality so different from his wealth. "I want to provide for you both," he said quietly. "We don't need providing. We need commitment, loyalty, love that doesn't disappear when things get hard." I was 24, scared, stupid. I thought I had to choose between love and success. "And you chose wrong." "Yes, I chose wrong, but I'm here now, choosing differently, choosing her, choosing you both." Elena wanted to believe him, wanted to trust, but 7 years of abandonment don't heal quickly. One afternoon, Adrian asked Elena about the years he'd missed, the pregnancy, the birth, Sofia's childhood. Elena shared reluctantly, labor alone, fear overwhelming, holding newborn Sofia and wondering how she'd survive, working 2 jobs while pregnant, hiding her condition from employers, the terror, the exhaustion, the loneliness. Adrian listened, really listened, understanding finally what his choice had cost. "I'm sorry," he said finally. "I know those words aren't enough, but I'm sorry for all of it." Sorry doesn't change the past. No, but maybe it can change the future if you let it. The question hung between them. Could they move forward? Could he earn forgiveness? Could she learn to trust again? The answer would come sooner than either expected, and cost more than they imagined. The story broke like a bomb 3 months after Adrian's return to their lives. Tech CEO Adrian Weiss's secret family revealed. Billionaire has hidden daughter with former girlfriend. Corporate leaders' double life exposed. Tabloids, business publications, social media, everyone discussing, judging, speculating. The board of directors of Adrian's Tech Corporation convened emergency session. Shareholders demanding answers. Investors questioning his judgment. Corporate image at stake. Adrian's parents, wealthy, traditional, image-obsessed, flew to Prague immediately, furious, ashamed, determined to fix the situation. His mother confronted Elena at the cafe. Designer clothes, cold eyes, aristocratic disdain. "How much money do you want to disappear, to keep quiet, to let my son focus on his real life?" Elena's hands shook with rage. "Get out of my cafe. You trapped him with that child. You're after his money. Everyone can see it. Sofia is his daughter, not a trap, not a scheme. His daughter who he abandoned. He didn't know. You kept her secret to use as leverage later." The accusation stung because part of Elena had worried people would think exactly that. Adrian arrived during the confrontation. "Mother, leave, now." "Adrian, this woman is destroying your reputation. The board is considering removal. You've worked too hard to throw it away for my daughter, for my family. Then let them remove me." His mother looked shocked. "You can't be serious." "I'm completely serious. I made a mistake 7 years ago. I chose wrong. I'm not making that mistake again." But the pressure intensified. Board members, shareholders, business partners, all demanding he distance himself from the scandal. A major investor cornered him. "You need to do damage control, deny paternity, suggest she's after money, protect the company. She's my daughter. DNA proves it. I'm not denying her. Then you're choosing a coffee shop waitress and her child over a billion-dollar company? I'm choosing truth over lies, family over reputation, love over greed." The ultimate confrontation came at the company's annual gala. Mandatory attendance, Prague's elite, media everywhere. Adrian expected to give a speech about quarterly earnings and future projections. Elena wasn't invited, wasn't welcome, wasn't part of that world. But Sofia had drawn Adrian a picture, a family portrait, three people holding hands under a bright sun, labeled in her careful 6-year-old handwriting, "My family." Adrian brought the drawing to the gala, folded in his jacket pocket, close to his heart. When he took the stage to speak, he made a decision that would change everything. "Before I discuss business, I need to address something personal. The rumors you've all heard are true. 6 years ago, I fathered a daughter. I didn't know about her until recently because I'd abandoned her mother for my career." Gasps rippled through the ballroom, cameras flashing, phones recording. "I made the worst mistake of my life. I chose ambition over love, success over family, and I've regretted it every day since, even before I knew what I'd lost." A shareholder stood angrily. "This is inappropriate. This is a business function. This is my life, and I'm done pretending that business matters more than people." Adrian pulled out Sofia's drawing, held it up for everyone to see. "This is my daughter's vision of family. 3 people who choose each other. Her mother who raised her alone. Her father who's trying to earn the right to be called that, and her, innocent, loving, deserving of more than I've given." "You're throwing away your career for a child you barely know?" someone shouted. "I'm choosing my child over a career that means nothing without her. If that cost me everything, then I didn't have anything worth keeping." Elena, watching from her cafe through a live stream someone shared on social media, broke down crying, Sofia beside her, not understanding but sensing the importance. "Is Uncle Adrian talking about us, Mama?" "Yes, sweetheart, he's choosing us." Adrian continued his speech. "I'm resigning as CEO effective immediately. I've built this company, but I abandoned my family. Those priorities were backwards. I'm correcting that now." The ballroom erupted. Shock, anger. Some scattered applause from lower-level employees tired of corporate callousness. Adrian's father rushed the stage. "You'll lose everything, your inheritance, your position, everything we built." "You built it. I'm building something better, a relationship with my daughter, a chance at redemption with the woman I never stopped loving." That admission stopped everything. Silence spreading. "I love Elena Novak. I loved her 7 years ago. I love her now. I was too stupid and scared to choose her then. I'm choosing her now, choosing them both, whatever the cost." Symbolic object number 2, Sofia's family drawing displayed on the large screen behind Adrian. Crude crayon art in a boardroom of wealth and power. The most honest thing in the room. Elena watched through tears. "He's really doing this. He's really choosing us." Sofia clapped her hands. "Uncle Adrian is good. He loves us." Adrian walked off that stage, out of the gala, away from the corporate life he'd built, toward the family he'd lost. He arrived at Elena's cafe an hour later, still in his tuxedo, looking completely out of place among the simple tables and homemade pastries. Sofia ran to him. "You said you love us on TV." He knelt down to her level. "I do. I love you very much. And I love your mama. I'm sorry it took me so long to be brave enough to say it." Elena stood frozen behind the counter, protecting her heart one last time. "You just destroyed your entire career." "I destroyed nothing important. I'm building something better. Your parents can accept this or not, their choice, but I'm choosing you, both of you, if you'll have me." "Adrian, I know I don't deserve forgiveness. I know 7 years of absence can't be erased by one grand gesture, but I'm asking for a chance. To prove I've changed, to prove I'll stay this time, to prove I choose you, always." Sofia tugged his sleeve. "Are you my real daddy now?" Adrian's voice broke. "If your mama says yes, if you want me to be, then yes, I'm your daddy, and I'll never leave you again." The cafe fell silent, customers watching, waiting, understanding they were witnessing something profound. Elena had a choice: protect her heart, maintain her walls, keep Sofia safe from potential future abandonment, or risk everything. Trust again, believe in second chances, choose love despite the fear. She looked at Sofia's hopeful face, at Adrian's desperate eyes, at the life they could have if she was brave enough. "Okay," she whispered, "okay. But if you leave again, I won't. I swear on everything I am, I won't." And somehow, impossibly, Elena believed him. Adrian's resignation from his tech corporation made international business news. Billionaire CEO chooses family over fortune. Corporate leader abandons empire for secret daughter. Headlines everywhere, most missing the actual story. A man finally choosing correctly. Within a week, Adrian had moved his life to Prague, sold his Berlin penthouse, liquidated unnecessary assets, simplified his existence to match Elena and Sofia's reality. He found a modest apartment 2 blocks from the cafe, close but respectful, not presuming, not forcing himself into their space, just available, present, consistent. The transition from CEO to cafe helper wasn't smooth. Adrian had never made coffee professionally, never baked pastries, never wiped tables or dealt with difficult customers. But he learned, patiently, humbly, making mistakes, laughing at himself, finding joy in simple work done for people he loved. "You're terrible at this," Elena observed one morning as he burned his 3rd batch of croissants. "I know, but I'm trying. That counts for something, right?" "Maybe." The ghost of a smile. Progress. Sofia appointed herself Adrian's teacher. "No, Daddy, you have to fold the dough like this." The word Daddy came naturally now. No more Uncle Adrian. Just Daddy, just acceptance, just love. They developed new rhythms as a forming family. Morning walks to Sofia's school, all 3 together, holding hands, looking like any other family despite the complicated history. Afternoon shifts at the cafe. Adrian handling customers while Elena baked. Sofia doing homework at her corner table, drawing pictures of her growing family. Evening dinners together, sometimes at the cafe, sometimes at Elena's small apartment, sometimes at Adrian's place, building connections, creating memories, establishing traditions. One Saturday afternoon, Sofia insisted they plant flowers outside the cafe entrance. "It needs to be more beautiful." They bought sunflower seeds at the market, planted them in large pots, dirt under everyone's fingernails, laughter mixing with afternoon sunshine. "When I was little, I always wanted a garden," Elena admitted. "But we never had space or money or time." "We have all 3 now," Adrian replied. "Different life, better priorities." Elena looked at him, really looked, seeing the changes, the humility, the genuine transformation from ambitious CEO to present father and partner. "You've changed," she observed quietly. "I had to. The old version of me lost everything important. This version won't make that mistake." Challenges continued emerging. Media attention, judgment from Prague's society, whispers about the disgraced CEO working in a cafe, the gold digger waitress who'd trapped him with a child. Elena struggled with the attention. "Maybe this was a mistake. Maybe you should go back. Rebuild your career. We'll be fine." "No," Adrian's voice was firm. "I'm exactly where I belong. Let them talk. Let them judge. I know the truth. We know the truth." Sofia overheard one nasty comment from a customer. "My mama says that man destroyed his life for a trap." Sofia stood up from her drawing, 6 years old and fierce. "My daddy loves us. That's not a trap. That's family." The customer left embarrassed. Elena hugged Sofia tight. Adrian wiped away proud tears. The symbolic sun necklace reappeared one evening. Elena finally removed it from under her blouse, wore it openly, no more hiding, no more protecting her heart with secrets. "You kept it," Adrian noticed immediately. "I couldn't throw it away, no matter how angry I was. It represented a time when I believed in love." "Do you believe in it now?" Elena looked at Sofia playing happily, at Adrian's patient presence, at the life they were carefully rebuilding. "I'm learning to believe again, slowly, but it's happening." They expanded the cafe slightly using Adrian's remaining savings, not corporate empire expansion, just enough to serve more customers. Hire one part-time employee, create a small play area for children. The cafe became known for its warm atmosphere, its owner's story of forgiveness and second chances, its CEO turned barista who served coffee with humility and genuine smiles. Adrian's former colleagues occasionally visited, some mocking, some curious, some secretly envious of what he'd found. "You don't miss it?" one asked. "The power, the wealth, the influence?" Adrian looked at Sofia teaching another child how to draw sunflowers, at Elena laughing with a regular customer, at the simple life they'd built together. "Not even slightly. I had all that and I was miserable. Now I have everything that actually matters." 6 months after choosing family over fortune, Adrian officially requested to be listed on Sofia's birth certificate as her father. Legal recognition, public claim, permanent commitment. Elena signed the papers with trembling hands. "This is real, you're really staying." "I'm really staying forever, no matter what." That evening, Sofia presented a new drawing. 3 people outside the cafe, surrounded by blooming sunflowers. Title in improving handwriting, "My Forever Family." "Is this okay, Mama? Is Daddy really forever?" Elena looked at Adrian. At 7 years of absence, at 6 months of consistent presence, at the choice between fear and trust. "Yes, sweetheart, Daddy is forever." Sofia cheered. Adrian wept. Elena allowed herself to fully hope. They'd been broken, separated, lost. But they'd found each other again, built something new from shattered pieces. The sunflowers they'd planted grew tall and strong. Bright faces turned toward light. Perfect metaphor for their family, choosing to grow, to reach upward, to find beauty after pain. Tomorrow would bring more challenges, more growth, more choices to keep choosing each other. But tonight, they were simply home. 1 year after Adrian walked back into Elena's cafe, Sofia created her masterpiece. A large painting showing 3 people standing under a brilliant sun, surrounded by blooming sunflowers. Behind them, the cafe with its colorful awning. Above, in careful 7-year-old letters, "My family forever and always." She presented it at breakfast with ceremonial seriousness. "This is us. This is real. This is forever, right?" Elena's hands trembled holding the artwork. 1 year of rebuilding, 1 year of learning to trust, 1 year of watching Adrian show up every single day. "Yes, sweetheart, this is forever." Adrian knelt beside Sofia. "I promise you, I will never leave again. I will be here every morning when you wake up, every night when you go to sleep, every moment in between. That's my promise to you, to both of you." Sofia hugged him fiercely. "I love you, Daddy. I love you too, little sunflower." That afternoon, Adrian did something he'd been planning for months. Closed the cafe early. Took Elena and Sofia to Charles Bridge at sunset. Prague glowing golden around them. "Elena, 7 years ago I made the worst decision of my life. I left you, left us, left love for ambition. I can't change those years. Can't fix what I destroyed, but I can choose differently now." He knelt on the ancient stones, pulled out a simple ring, not expensive, not flashy, just honest and real and exactly right. "I'm not asking you to forget, not asking you to pretend those 7 years didn't happen, but I'm asking you to believe in now, in tomorrow, in forever. Marry me, not because of Sofia, not because of guilt, but because I love you, because you're the best person I know, because I want to spend every remaining day proving I'm worthy of this second chance." Sofia bounced excitedly. "Say yes, Mama, say yes," Elena cried. Happy tears mixed with healing tears. "You hurt me so deeply. I know. I spent 7 years believing I wasn't enough to make you stay. You were always enough. I was the one who wasn't enough, wasn't brave enough, wasn't wise enough, wasn't man enough. And now? Now I'm trying to be the man you both deserve, every day, starting over, choosing correctly, choosing you." Elena looked at the ring. Simple silver band. No diamond, just a promise made visible. She looked at Sofia's hopeful face, at Adrian's patient love, at the life they'd carefully rebuilt from ruins. "Yes, yes, I'll marry you. I choose to believe, I choose to trust, I choose us." Sofia cheered loudly enough to startle nearby tourists. Adrian stood and kissed Elena like he was 24 again, young and in love and full of hope. But wiser now, grateful now, understanding now what he'd almost lost forever. They married 3 months later. Small ceremony at the cafe. Friends and regular customers. Sofia as flower girl and ring bearer, and basically the entire wedding party. No fancy venue, no expensive details, just sunflowers everywhere. Simple vows, honest promises, real love. I promise to show up every day, even when it's hard, especially when it's hard. I promise to trust, to forgive, to believe in tomorrow. I promise to be the daddy Sofia deserves, the husband you deserve, the man I should have been 7 years ago. The final scene unfolded perfectly. Sunday morning, the cafe filled with regulars who'd become family. Sunflowers blooming magnificently outside. Sofia teaching another child how to draw. Elena and Adrian working together behind the counter. Comfortable partnership, easy teamwork. Love made practical through daily choice. Do you ever regret it? Elena asked quietly. Giving up everything? Adrian looked around their small cafe. At Sofia laughing. At customers chatting. At the simple, beautiful life they built. I regret nothing. I gave up things that didn't matter. I gained everything that does, even on hard days. Especially on hard days, because hard days with you are better than easy days without you. The sun pendant still hung around Elena's neck, now joined by a simple wedding band, symbols of then and now, of pain and healing, of love lost and found and chosen again. Sofia's forever family painting hung above the cafe counter. Their story, their choice, their truth. Outside, the sunflowers turned their faces toward morning light, growing, blooming, thriving, just like the family who'd planted them. 3 people who'd been broken, separated, lost, now whole, together, home. Because family isn't just about blood or history or first chances. It's about who you choose, who chooses you back, who keeps choosing every single day. They'd chosen each other, imperfectly, honestly, completely. And that choice was everything. Family isn't about perfect beginnings. It's about people who choose each other, forgive each other, and keep choosing again every single day. If this story touched your heart, subscribe to HA Stories and share what second chances mean to you.